Black culture is so easily manipulated and misled. Back in Detroit in February, I'm with a group of people that ran into another group of people, and obviously we had a mutual acquaintance, but because we were all black, they expected for us to participate in this economic blackout. Now, I didn't know what it was at the time, but the minute that I heard diversity, equity, and inclusion, I already knew what it was. I knew that it was going to be a bunch of people running in the Victim Olympics that said that they wanted inclusion and they wanted to participate in a cause to make sure that they take down Trump and the federal government in order to force them to acknowledge us and get Target to put short products back in the shelves. But that's not where it started. I went home, did a little bit of research, and I realized that it was started by a guy named John Schwartz. John Schwartz is a white man, and he wasn't thinking about y'all when he started this thing. He just so happened to tweet it out, and it caught fire from his group and his friends, which I don't really care because I rock with people based off of the content of their character and not the color of their skin. However, it played a game of telephone, and by the time it got back to black people, y'all thought that just because it had black in the title, that it was for you, and they were trying to get you to make sure that you were acknowledged and they were working on your behalf. And you had white women join in, and we all know, as soon as a bunch of liberal white women come into the picture, that it all gets hijacked, and then it becomes something completely different than what it was supposed to be. And then y'all embraced it, and by the time that it got back around, and I seen it catch fire on the internet, people were trying to shame you if you were a black person that didn't participate in the economic blackout. Meanwhile, John Schwartz was over there creating the People's Union. He scrambled to create this People's Union, and he created this new group that basically now is getting a GoFundMe. And I heard that as of the recording of this video, that it has over $70,000. Haven't y'all been misled enough? Ain't you tired? Don't you remember what happened with Black Lives Matters when it was a bunch of lesbian black women that had these liberal views and these Marxist mindsets that ultimately hijacked and took y'all money, and then eventually they bought a bunch of mansions over in California, and y'all still haven't held them accountable or acknowledged the fact that Candace Owens actually exposed them and you didn't even ask for your money back? Aren't you tired of being a sucker? Aren't you tired of being a pawn for somebody else's movement and you playing the game of telephone? You know, the Bible says in everything you do, you have to get understanding. We don't pray for understanding. We don't pray for wisdom. We just blindly follow. And this is one of the reasons why a lot of y'all followed the 93% of women over to the polls to vote for Kamala Harris. Aren't you silly? Aren't you tired of being sick and stupid? So easily misled. And y'all just went right along with it. And ain't even nothing gonna happen. And y'all not gonna come back and say, you know what, I was off, I was wrong, I didn't even know what I was talking about, I should have did some research.